Hello students, my name is D.D. Misra and today we'll read about nucleophilic substitution reaction. First of all, tell me what do you mean by a substitution reaction? Substitution is also known as replacement, and if one similar species having more strength is replacing another similar species, then it is known as substitution reaction. Then substitution is of three types. One is nucleophilic substitution, one is electrophilic substitution, one is free radical substitution. If one nucleophile is replacing the another nucleophile, then it is nucleophilic substitution. If one electrophile is replacing another electrophile, then it is known as electrophilic substitution. If one free radical is replacing another free radical, then it is known as free radical substitution. Now, in this class, today we'll today we'll read about this nucleophilic substitution. Means one nucleophile having more strength is replacing other nucleophile having less strength. Okay, so this is known as substitution. This is known as substitution nucleophilic reaction. Substitution nucleophilic reaction. It is classified into majorly it is classified into two types. This is SN1 and SN2. And another one type is there, that is SNI, which is nucleophilic substitution internal, which will be third letter. Then what is the full form of SN1? It is substitution unimolecular, substitution nucleophilic unimolecular bi-step reaction. And what is the full form of this one? Substitution bimolecular, substitution nucleophilic, bimolecular unistep reaction. So these are the major two types of nucleophilic substitution reaction. Let us think about the example. Means it can be shown by many molecules, and haloalkane is one of them. Let us think about haloalkane. Now I am writing here haloalkane. Means haloalkane shows SN reaction, both SN1 and SN2. So first we will think about the types of haloalkane. Depending upon the degree of carbon where the halogen is attached, haloalkane is classified into major three types. One is 1 degree, one is 2 degree, one is 3 degree, and along with that methyl halide is also there. So means if I am writing here 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree haloalkane, and they will show SN1 and SN2. So now the question will arise, which one will show SN1 and which one will show SN2. So for this I am writing SN2 here and SN1 here. Okay, it will be taught. Means now you can remember this one with mind trick, and later on you can understand why this is showing. Now just remember this one, means out of this 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree which is showing SN1, SN2, which is showing SN2, and later on you will understand why it is showing SN1 and why it is showing SN2. Okay, so what I have done here, I have written this 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree means the degree of haloalkane in increasing order, and writing the mechanism, I have written the mechanism in the decreasing order. And below 1 degree, which is there? Below 1 degree SN2 is there, and below 3 degree SN1 is there. And it means that 1 degree will show SN2 and 3 degree will show SN1, and since below 2 degree no one is there, it will be showing both SN1 and SN2. So this is the major part. Now you can understand. Okay, so it means that if I write SN1 reaction, it will be given by 3 degree and 2 degree haloalkane. If I write SN2 reaction, it will be given by 1 degree and 2 degree. Along with that, this methyl halide is close to the 1 degree one. Let us say ethyl chloride and methyl chloride are close to each other. Means methyl chloride will show the mechanism same as that of the 1 degree. It means that SN1 will be shown by 3 degree and 2 degree, and SN2 will be shown by 1 degree and 2 degree along with the methyl halide. So now the question will arise, when see the higher degree is showing the lower mechanism, means lower molecularity mechanism, and the lower one is showing the mechanism with higher molecularity. It's reverse to each other. Now the question will arise, 2 degree and 2 degree. Here 2 degree is showing SN1, here 2 degree is showing SN2. So how can we know that? If in a question it will be given that 2 degree and some nucleophile is there, then how to find that whether it will be undergoing SN1 or SN2? Which factor will decide? Rather, which factor will decide means whether it is showing SN1 or SN2 reaction? The answer is solvent. We'll be going in details when we'll read individually this and this one. Now you can remember, when the solvent will decide the mechanism of 2 degree haloalkane, whether it is showing SN1 or SN2 mechanism, because it is showing both. Okay. Now take the screenshot of this one. Then we will be going in details about SN1 reaction in today's class. Okay. So take the screenshot. So now I have already given the full form of SN1. What is this one? This is nucleophilic substitution unimolecular bistep reaction. So what does it mean? It means that the reaction has the molecularity 1. That's why it is known as unimolecular. And the reaction mechanism includes 2 steps. That's why I have written unimolecular and bistep reaction. So now I am writing this SN1 reaction. SN1 reaction. So full form already I have written. So let us take an example of haloalkane, and there I have written 3 degree and 2 degree will show SN1. So now we will not talk about 1 degree and methyl halide, because it will be showing, or they will be showing SN2 mechanism. Since it is SN1, since it is the SN1, and here it will be shown by 3 degree and 2 degree haloalkane, so we will talk about 3 degree or else 2 degree haloalkane. So now I am writing the example over here. So I have written CH3 here, CH3 here, and this chlorine. This is a tertiary butyl chloride. The common name is tertiary butyl chloride. So if I am giving this nucleophile to this one, definitely this OH minus will replace this Cl minus, because it has more basic strength. It's a stronger nucleophile or stronger basic nucleophile. So it will be removing this one, removing this Cl, and the product will be of 2 types. Check it. It is of 2 types. That is, in one it will be OH, and in another this OH will be present below the plane, and this will be like this, and this will be like this. Since the position of chlorine and position of OH both are towards upward, so this product is known as retention product. And since the Cl and OH are inverted to each other, this product is known as inversion product. Since the molecule is not chiral here, so there is no use of retention and inversion. I am just showing the example here. So my question is, if it is showing 2 types of products, if it is a stereochemistry one, if it is a chiral one, if it is showing the optical isomerism, so the proportion or the ratio of inversion and retention formed will be whether it is equal, or this will be greater, or this will be lesser. This will be greater. Means whether both are formed with the same proportion, or someone is greater and someone is less. Okay, that will be given with explanation. Now I am saying this inversion product will be more than the retention. Okay, I will tell you the exact explanation of why this inversion is more than this retention. For this, we have to go for the mechanism. This mechanism, already the full form I have told you that this is substitution nucleophilic unimolecular bistep reaction. So now I will write this step 1, because it's a bistep reaction. I will write the step 1, which includes the formation of carbocation. So now I'm writing this one. So it will be CH3 and Cl. So now this Cl bond will be broken down. Now it will be achieving, just see, since it's a tetrahedral geometry and the hybridization is sp3, after the removal of this Cl minus, this carbocation will be changing its hybridization from sp3 to sp2, so changing the geometry from tetrahedral to square planar. So I am writing with the geometry. So this will be the plus charge. So here and here. So one CH3 over here, one CH3 over here, one CH3 over here. And it is also having one empty orbital. Which orbital? The orbital which is associated between carbon and chlorine. Now it is empty or one, because both the electrons, with the shared pair of electron has been taken by the chlorine. So here the hybridization is sp2, and the chlorine is already removed. Now this is the first step, and this is the RDS. What is RDS? This is rate determining step. Why it is rate determining step? Because this is a slower step one. According to chemical kinetics, the slow step is always rate determining, and it will be taught to you in chemical kinetics. Okay, why it is rate determining step? And now you just listen and you just remember that the slow step is the rate determining step. Okay, so from the second step, and the second step includes addition of the nucleophile. It's a bimolecular reaction. It's a unimolecular reaction, but it has two steps. It's a unimolecular reaction, and it has two steps. So first step includes the formation of carbocation, and second step includes addition of nucleophile. Now I'm writing this one. So this is the carbon, okay? This is the carbon, and this is the CH3 here, and these two are the CH3 okay? So this is the plus charge, and this is the empty orbital. So if I'll add this OH minus over here, then what will happen? Now this OH minus can be attack this one, and it also can attack. Means if it is attacking from the upside, then this product will be formed, and if it is attacking from the downside, then that inversion product will be formed. So what is the product now? So the product will be like this one. One will be the retention, and another one will be the inversion. Okay. So now how can I find that the inversion is, already I have told that inversion is more than the retention. How can I prove, or how can I find that inversion is more than retention? For that I will show you the model. Without model it is not possible. So now I am showing you. First I am showing this tertiary butyl chloride. See, this is the tetrahedral geometry, and this is your tertiary butyl chloride. Means the green marker is of chlorine, and these three are of methyl groups. So this is a tetrahedral geometry. Okay. Now see. So when this is the nucleophile. Until and unless the nucleophile will approach, will start migrating towards the carbon, it will not be broken down. Why? Because it's a neutral one and this is a charged one. Definitely the stability of this one will be more than this one. So when this nucleophile will be coming to attack this one, it cannot attack from the front side, because this nucleophile is electron rich species, and this chlorine is also electron rich species. So it will be started approaching from the bottom side or opposite side to the chlorine. Now after, when these two are approaching to each other, the released energy is sufficient to break this bond. Means now this is not been attacked. This has not been attacked by this one. Now with this attraction, when this is approaching, come close to each other from the below side. Now when it reaches at this point, then the attraction will create some energy, some release of energy that will break this one. If it has been broken down, then immediately the geometry will be changed to like this. This is a trigonal planar geometry having hybridization sp3. Now it will be behaving as the orbital, where one lobe is present upside and another lobe is present the downside. Now tell me, now this has stopped its movement when it is broken down. Now also it is present below the plane. It can attack to the below lobe, it can attack to the upper lobe. But since it is present at the below one or below side or down side, definitely this is closer to the lower lobe, so it more chance is there, more probability is there that it can attack to the downside lobe. So if it is attacking through the downside lobe, then more inversion product is formed. Since it is present below, since it is present at the below side or inverted side, then more chance is there that it can attack through both. Means it can attack through the lower lobe, it can attack through the higher lobe, but since it is present below or it is close to the down one, close to the inverted one, that's why it will be approaching this one with more speed or more probability, so the inverted product is more than the retention. Now you can understand? Okay. So from here we have proved that inversion is more than retention. Now we'll okay, what is the full form of SN1 reaction? I have already said substitution, nucleophilic, unimolecular, bi-step reaction. Already I have proved that this one is the two-step reaction for step 1, step 2. And already we have proved that why inversion is greater than retention. In all the SN1 reaction, inversion product will be more than that of the retention product. Okay, now we will be going for the rate law. Rate law is always decided from the slow step. That's why it is known as rate determining step. Rate determining step. So R will be K, and in this reaction, according to the law of mass action, this will be carbon, 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 and this is the chlorine. Means this is also known as your substrate. So this is the rate law. So this is the rate law. So order is 1 over here because it is the sum of the exponent in the rate law. Since no other reactant is there, that's why the order is 1 here. And also one molecule is reacting, one molecule is broken down, one molecule is changing its hybridization as well as the geometry. So molecularity is also 1. That's why we can say it as unimolecular. Now you can understand why it is nucleophilic substitution, because one nucleophile, this is the nucleophile, symbol of nucleophile. So one nucleophile is replacing another nucleophile because it has more strength than this one. And the second point is it has two steps. One step includes formation of carbocation, and the second step includes addition of nucleophile. And why it is unimolecular? Because in the first reaction, in the first step, only one molecule is present, one molecule is reacting, one molecule is breaking. That's why it is a unimolecular. And from the rate law, we have found that the order is 1. Okay, now take the screenshot, then we will go for another important points about SN1 reaction. Okay, have you taken? Okay. So we will be going for the next one. Next one includes, if the molecule is a 2 degree 1, if the molecule is a 2 degree 1, then how we will decide that whether it will be showing SN1 or SN2? I have said the solvent will decide, and here for SN1, 2 degree can show SN1 reaction in presence of polar protic solvent. What is polar? What is protic? If there is the electronegativity difference between two atoms in a molecule is greater than equals to 0.9, then it is a polar molecule. And what is polar protic? Protic means proton. Proton means H plus. Means if the molecule is polar 1 and it is also releasing H plus, means it is dissociated itself to give H plus. Means if it is a proton releaser, then it is known as polar protic solvent. Means we can say it as in presence of polar protic solvents like water, methanol, formic acid, 2 degree haloalkane can show SN1 reaction. So now I will take one 2 degree haloalkane which is a chiral one. So now I am writing CH3CHCl, here CH2 and here CH3. It's a 2 degree haloalkane and this carbon is a chiral one. Now if you will give OH minus without the presence of the solvent, we cannot decide whether it is showing SN1 or SN2 because it's a 2 degree one. So in the question definitely some solvent must be given. From this solvent it is decided that this will be showing you this SN1 reaction. Since it is 2 degree, because of the presence of polar protic solvents like water, methanol and formic acid, it will be showing SN1 reaction. So in SN1 reaction, what we have found that it will be giving two types of products. One is inversion, one is retention. Okay. So two products means I will write CH3 CHOH and this is the CH2 and CH3. Again it is a chiral one. And plus along with this it will be giving another product which is OH, H, CH2 and CH3. So again it has also one chiral carbon. So tell me, if the chlorine is present to the right side of the molecule and here OH is also present to the right side, so it is the retention product. It is the retention product. Now it is the, obviously it is the inversion product. So if it is a retention one and if it is inversion one and if here the OH is present to the right side and if here OH is present to the left side, definitely both of them will be mirror image of each other. So both of them there is a chance of the formation of racemic mixture. Means if it is D, then it is L. If it is L, then it is D. Getting my point? So what to do? So what to or how to find that whether it will be giving only racemic mixture or something remaining will be there? Because if it is if they are present in 50% ratio, 50-50 ratio, then the ratio of the racemic mixture will be 1:1. So only racemic mixture will be formed. Now what I have said, always inversion is greater than retention. Always inversion is greater than retention. That's why what will happen? What will happen? Let I will say here, this is the D form. This is the D form. So this will be L form. So this will be also D form because clockwise rotation. So this will be L form. So these are not equal in proportion. These are not equal in proportion because one is retention, one is inversion. So here lever rotatory form is more than that of the dextro rotatory form. So let us take an example of this one. Let this is 60% lead and this is 40% because it is less in proportion. This is 40% and this is 60%. Okay. You can take it as 45, 55 also, but it should be more, it should be less. I will write this is 40% D, this is 60% L. Okay, then again I am writing this as it is 40% D, and this will be for this I have splitted this one to 40% L plus 20% L. It means that total 60%. I have splitted it into 40% and 20% L. So what will be there? Just see. One is D form, one is L form. So the equimolar mixture of D and L form is known as racemic mixture. It is taught to you in 11th class. So 40% D and 40% L will be giving you this racemic mixture. And this 20% L or inverted product, inversion, will be remaining. It means that if a molecule is a chiral one, during SN1 reaction, it will be showing racemic mixture plus inversion. Means some of the inverted product will be remaining because the inversion is more than that of the retention. Then question will arise, sir, whether it will be racemic mixture plus inversion or racemic mixture plus L form. Because I have taken D form over here, that's why the inversion will be automatically L form. If I have taken this as the L form, then the inversion will be definitely D form. This point is 100% correct that the SN1 reaction for an optical active molecule will always be giving racemic mixture plus inversion. And depending upon the stereochemistry of this one, the D or L remaining portion, the stereochemistry of the remaining portion, that is the inverted one, will be decided. So if the statement will be there that SN1 reaction always shows racemic mixture and inversion, it's a wrong one. Why? Because in the previous example, in the tertiary butyl chloride, that molecule is not the chiral one. not optical active. In that case, inversion retention we can say, but that will not give you racing mixture, because what is racing mixture? That is equimolar mixture of D and L form. So if in the exam the question will be for a true or false statement, and it will be given that the SN1 reaction will show racing mixture and inversion, it's a wrong one. Not necessarily, it may or may not show, but it is. But if it is a chiral one, but it is an optical active one, then SN1 shows racing mixture and inversion. Hope you can understand this one. So for this class, this much. So next class we'll discuss some important characteristics of SN1 reaction, some variation or exceptional cases of SN1 reaction, and the energy diagram, which is very much important for the J advance. Thank you for watching.